Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. I wanted to share something with you. Here in America, we have been pretty much lived a pretty decent life. I know that there are poor people out there and there's some struggle with what they're going to eat daily and have been for many, many years. This isn't new to a lot of them. But to a lot of us, what's about to happen is going to be new. For the last 4 years, I have been learning how to make my own cheeses and butters and all of that from real cow milk. I've been learning how to preserve food in many different ways, whether it be fermenting, dehydrating, canning, all these different things. I go to all these other amazing women that do these things as well, and I listen to their videos and I go by their videos. Some of them are, you know, a little sketchy, but for the most part there are a lot of good women out there that can do these things. Can you make a loaf of bread? Water, flour, salt will make any kind of flatbread. You see, the thing behind bread, it's what you do with it that makes a difference, that makes the different kinds of bread. Sourdough starter make sourdough bread. Leavening agents such as baking powder or there's yeast. Yeast will give your bread a different taste. Also makes it rise. Baking powder will make it rise. Baking soda flattens. So if you don't have anything that will make it rise, then make a tortilla. Make a flatbread. Most recipes for a family of 2 to 4 take 2.5 cups. If it's just a couple, then a cup. And half cup for dusting. Most of the time it's a teaspoon of salt. These are basic. You should try to do them now. You're going to make a lot of mistakes. You're going to be eating hockey sticks or hockey pucks. You're going to be able to use it as a frisbee. Better you do it now. Then try to learn when your food is going to be very valuable to use sparingly. Can you live like her? Can you grow your own food like her? I've been trying for 4 years. I'm still trying. I can't get it right. So I have been dehydrating a lot of vegetables. And I'm going to try and do another garden. I'm not going to stop learning. I just hope someday the Father sends me somebody with green thumbs. Things are about to get pretty dire, pretty desperate. If you're not watching Patera on her channel, I'll put a link to her channel. I forget the channel name, but lately she's been putting out a lot of videos on this stuff. A lot of videos on what's about to happen. And she's just a farmer girl, you know. She knows a lot about the land. She knows a lot about growing, a lot about animals. She's a very kind, heartwarming woman and very down to earth. She doesn't pull punches, but a lot of them are soft, as opposed to me. I punch a little bit harder, and we both get the same thing across. Some people might react to her videos as opposed to mine. Some people might react to my videos opposed to hers. We're completely different, but we're still trying to say the same thing. Can you live like this? Can you cook on a wood-burning stove? Can you cook on an open fire? Do you have cast iron to cook on an open fire? Do you have those gloves, those silicone gloves, or the long gloves that go up to your elbow for protection, since you'd be new at this? There's a lot of things that you're about to have to do that you have never done. And I don't care if you live in an apartment, in a tract home, or on a homestead. We are all going to have to learn to do these things. It's better if you learn how to do them now. It's better if you can get your own animals now. You don't have to kill the chickens, get their eggs. You don't have to kill the cow and the goat, get their milk. Some people might say, I'm not going to milk a cow or a goat just to get milk. Well, what do you think you're drinking? And they've done so much to it, it is not healthy for you at all. And real milk tastes better, doesn't go bad. The longer you have it, the different things you can do with it. In these countries, this is how they have to live. And I'm sure there are some with a lot more money and they live in apartments or whatever and they buy their groceries at the grocery store just like we do. But eventually, they're going to have to do what their counterparts do, because there are a lot more in these other countries that to this, it's normal. It's normal to grow your own food. It's normal to live like this. That's why they will outlast us. Because when all this happens and you have to start cooking from scratch, how many of you can do that? How many of you can put together any kind of a soup with what's on hand? You might want to learn how to do that. Most recipes that require milk and all that, you can get by with water. You can. Or some kind of a different liquid. We are so used to reading packages and copying what the package says. You don't have to do any of that. Water replaces everything. You don't need a leveling agent to make things puff up. Just eat a flat. Soups are going to stretch your food out. Knowing how to use flour, 1 tablespoon of flour equals 1 cup of whatever you're making as a thickener to make it heavier so it fills your belly more, your children's belly. Canning your meats and not throwing out the fat because we're told it's not good for you. How about you leave the fat in there and then can it so that you have something to make that soup a creamy or a thicker soup to fill your children's belly. And stop with the, oh, I cleaned all the fat off the chicken. Oh, yes, I did. And making other people feel guilty because they don't. I don't feel guilty. I saw this one guy do a chicken video, and at the end he put in words, oh, yeah, I cleaned the fat off. No, he did not. And good for him that he didn't. Because all that fat is going in my kids' bellies. Y'all might want to think about that when you're canning. Because if you don't have any oil, the fat that you stored in those meat jars will be your oil. Your fat, your thickening agent that you need with flour or butter or whatever. So I ask you again, can you live like this? On top of everything that's going to be going down, you're going to have to cook like this. If you can even get a garden to grow because you haven't grown nothing. I'm in the same boat. Probably ahead of the game because my mom did teach me how to cook from scratch. But I can't get a garden going. I mean, I try every year. I get a few things. Nothing to brag about. So watch the next video that follows this one, or that is attached in here. This woman is pretty interesting to watch. It's a different one. You're just seeing one gal. Now watch this other one. You might want to start thinking about these things. I know you are, but maybe doing them. Implement these things. Alright, watch the video that is next. And, yeah. Be safe out there. Shalom. And I love you all. Be blessed.
Вкусно. Зелень вот туда еще брось. Спасибо.